What you want, fool?
We're doing Official Podcast Episode 6. Today we're talking about sports. I don't like sports. Someone text you and it's done.
Wait, is that the intro? Wait, did we start?
I think we're going.
I guess we're starting.
That's weird. Alright, well, hi guys. We're doing sports.
Yeah, let's just start this off real quick. Let's start off with, so we're doing sports that me and Alex personally think are the hardest sports to play, and
but we'll also cover like other sports because there are some sports that aren't on my list that I want to talk about.
yeah. So I think we should start off by first like defining what would we say is like, how would we rate every sport? Because like when I think of a sport hard to play, like if I were to like this summer say I want to go play baseball, how hard would it be for me to play that sport?
That's
basically how we're ranking. That's how I'm personally ranking like every sport.
So like if you went and wanted to go play a sport and pick it up on the fly, how difficult it'd be for you?
To play like a good level, like you can play like rec sports in a lot of league and play against bums, but I want to be like
I want to talk about a sport that I think is really easy to pick up, and that's soccer.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I think it's very easy to pick up soccer.
I did not play soccer, and Austin's gonna fume, but I did not play soccer for 6 years, and then I never played a travel league. I played for my middle school team for like a year, and I was not very good. And I picked it up, and I wasn't even that bad. Like for somebody who really never played soccer, I wasn't even that bad compared to a lot of the kids. Like I was better than some of the kids on the team.
Yeah,
and you and Aiden were really good. So
well, Aiden and I've played soccer throughout our childhood. We took a break, but we had experience playing it, so we were pretty good. But
like I had no experience.
Like when it comes to like, if you want to play high school ball, especially in our league, well, unless you're a competitive soccer team, like the kids are not like freestyling all over the place on corner kicks. You don't see a lot of people going up for headers. You don't see a lot of that. You don't have to be super tight end defense either. So like there's a lot of leeway. You can get away with a lot in soccer. Like you can take many plays off and be totally fine as well.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. What's another sport that I think is easy to pick up?
I think a very easy sport to pick up is football. Well, when I say football, it's you have to have a bit of a mindset for it. Personally, like you can't go into football playing like you cannot go into football being like scared or anything. You have to be willing to get yourself beaten up a little bit. It does hurt.
Well, it's a whole process. You have to be willing to put in the work to get better at it. Like you have to have the mindset to get up. Like we have to get up at like 6:30, 7 in the morning to go work out 3 days a week. And then you got to have that mindset to just like make sure you're keeping your body right, eating right.
Yeah, I will say I'm a little known. A big fact about me is I play a lot of sports, and my main three sports are basketball, soccer, and football. And I will say I've never played football until the high school level, which I'm playing at right now, and football is by far the hardest practices and out of those three sports that I've been at. Like
honestly, like if I've really haven't gotten a lot of playing experience, which is going to change this year, obviously, but like the practices seem so much easier than the game environment. Like
the practices are much harder than the game environment. Practices are painful, dude. Like not only physically painful, it's mentally taxing and painful as well. And because you have to sit out there for hours at a time, repping plays and stuff like that. Like, and those gassers and stuff you have to do as well. Oh my goodness.
Oh, dude, after we lost to Sherwood, oh my god, that was bad.
Funny story. We basically got killed by some team really badly, and
we had to go to Albany, Georgia, and we lost 60-8, and coach made us run gassers like the whole practice.
Well, a thing I say about that game is like we
gave up
to lose to begin. We did kind of give up, but like, what chance did we have? You drive like you drive hours and hours to a game. You don't get a whole lot of time before the game to prepare. Like, you're gonna lose. I'm sorry. That advantage is just like,
Dude, I don't know about you, but during warm-ups, I knew the game was over. Like, the second we got out there and did warm-ups, I knew we were going to get killed. Like, we looked so sloppy.
mm-hmm. But yeah,
Let's see, yeah. I think, and then they come to us this year, so we'll see. We'll see how it affects them.
yeah. But going back to the point, football is just like, I didn't finish telling the story. It's so we basically lost to that team really badly, and our coach had us probably run 20 gassers, and what a gasser is, you go up and down the field twice, so the full length of the field twice, and we did 20 of those or something like that. It was maybe like 17, but
yeah, no, it was like 20.
Yeah,
it felt like a million though.
The one thing I really, really love about football that is dear to my heart is it's like a manly sport. It makes men. It creates a lot of discipline, and there's
you can't be a baby and play football. You can't be a wimp and play the sport. Like you gotta be able. And the people who don't play. The people who are like that don't play. Like I wasn't very disciplined last year and I didn't play. And this year my discipline has gone up a lot, so I'm probably gonna get more opportunities. So I think it's a sport that creates strong men, and I think that's the biggest part of it that nobody talks about.
Yeah, but I think if you are willing to set aside the roughness of practice and kind of suck it up, I think it's a pretty easy sport to pick up because you just kind of have to be really athletic, and if you're really athletic, you're fine. And I know
there's two sides to the game, and I know the second side because I'm not like the most athletic kid in the world. There are people who are really athletic that don't you can't like you and Aiden are really athletic, but you probably don't see the game as well as I can.
I don't
I know exactly what's going on at all times. I can memorize plays super easy. I know how to I run routes to the exact angle. And that's just it's basically the white boy characteristics right there. But
bro's turning this podcast into a flex off.
plays the game the right way. Sneaky, athletic. First one in, last one out.
Yeah.
But all in all, I'd say football is definitely one of the it's not easy to pick up, but it's also not hard to pick up once you get past the practices.
Yeah. Also, I want to pick up on one of the sports that I think is probably the hardest to play and be good at, and I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, Alex, but I think basketball is by far the hardest.
Basketball's my number one on the hardest to play. It's
the
hardest sport to make it in. Because now, we were when we were walking earlier, we were talking about it, how kids are just so much more athletic now.
Dude,
how an AAU team could probably match up against an old NBA team. It's crazy.
Yeah, the kids I played AAU 2 seasons in high school, and some of those kids are just insane, dude. And it's not even D1 kids. I can't imagine how much better the D1 kids are. It's just AAU. That's not even the best level. It's a competitive level, but it's not the best level.
Terrence. Terrence is 6'6". My friend Terrence is really big, and he squats a ton, he benches a ton, he deadlifts a ton. And he's really good at basketball. He makes it look effortless, and I just look at that and I see who guards them? Who defends those types of people? And 6'6", that's there are kids that are there are kids that could destroy him, which is insane. I mean, you think once you get to 6'6", 260, and you can dunk, you can shoot, you can dribble, you can do anything, you're strong as heck. You think nobody can stop you, but there are kids who are twice as good as him. And they're his age, and he's my age. He's 16 years old.
Yeah, that's one of the main part is the superhuman athletics. But a big part about basketball that makes it so hard is how quick pace the game is. It may not look like that in the spectator, but I'm telling you, when you're playing, it is going fast. Everyone is fast. It is it's a very, very fast game, and you've got to be I said in soccer, you can take playoffs. Basketball, you take a second off, somebody's coming to the basket and dunks on you. It's also and if you
mess up one thing, I mean, that's either 2 or 3 points going to the other team.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room for mental lapses. You got to be keyed in. You've got to have your brain really working overtime to be processing everything going on.
Like in football, you can like in between plays, you can take a play, you can assess what the offense is looking like or what the defense is looking like, and see how you want to approach it the next play. But in basketball, you don't get that.
Yeah, and
Like you get
basketball,
you're not
it's
every
not. In basketball, the only time you get to think is halftime. It's just react, and
like
during
even in
for basketball, you kind of just train on how will you react during the game. That's when you kind of slow it down a little bit, but like it takes years and years of experience to kind of drill that into a kid. And like I played basketball for 5-6 years, and I'm still, I'd say I'm good, but I'm not fantastic. And you'd think you play sport a lot for 6 years, you should probably be pretty good at it, but it's very
Or, like,
demanding sport.
once you and like even in like timeouts and stuff, you're probably going over plays, just talking about what you want to do next. There's no time to just take a second and breathe. You just
Yeah.
gotta go. It's go.
Yeah, it's the stop, and people underestimate how tiring it is. The stop and go motion of basketball is like in soccer, you're running the entire stinking game, but in basketball, it's stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, and that really takes a lot of tax on your body. So you've got to train yourself in a unique way in order to account for that fatigue.
Yeah.
And also basketball players are by far the best athletes in my opinion as well. You've got to be very athletic to play basketball, or very smart, but it's usually
Now it's my turn to go over what I think one of the hardest sports is, and Ethan's gonna disagree with me. I will take it to my grave. Baseball is one of the hardest sports to learn how to play. Like people look at it and think, oh, you just hit a ball and then you walk to first base or like run to second base or whatever. But it is like I played it for 10 years and I got pretty dang good at it. And it's like you're hitting. Just imagine somebody steps up. They're 6'6". Height doesn't really matter. But the first pitch you see them throw is a 97 mile per hour fastball right down the center. Like, how are you going to hit that? You got to have the reaction time of an F1 driver to just like swing the bat. And if you swing it wrong, it's a ground at the second. And then if you like fielding is a lot harder than you think. Like pop ups, a lot of the time you can just straight up miss them. It's crazy. I remember in the championship game, this pitcher like he was throwing 94 miles an hour at me, and I just you have to sometimes just swing the second he throws it, and like the second he throws it, I just swing, and all of a sudden it was like down in the outfield, and it's just like being able to figure out how to time your hits to swing the right way is super difficult, and I think it's one of the most underrated sports.
Yeah, it seems like it takes constant repetitions. I used to laugh at baseball, but I tried to play a bit of baseball myself over the summer, which is right now. I like a week ago actually. I was swinging at very slow lobs from my little cousin who's 10 years old, and I couldn't hit a single one of them.
Well, like you saw, and also like being able to adjust the speeds. Because I remember you were laughing at me because my brother struck me out. My brother was probably throwing like 15 miles an hour. It felt like, and I was missing at him because I'm so used to like this
baseball. So I'm gonna laugh at you for missing.
Well, yeah, I am. That was pretty embarrassing. But like this, I'm used to just the second somebody throws the ball, I have to swing, or else I'm gonna miss it.
That is understandable, to be honest. The thing that makes me, well, I started to understand why you say baseball is really hard, but the reason why I previously like laugh at baseball before is because like it seems to me there's not a whole lot of things you need to master. Like you do need to master things really good. Like you need to master your swing, you need to master like your throwing arm and catching and stuff like that. But I couldn't think of much other that you need to master, which is why I kind of don't take it very seriously.
So
Well, I mean,
baseball is not the easy sport. The hardest sport is wrestling. It is 1v1 against your opponent. Thank y'all for having me. I decided to come back because I was bored. Anyway, wrestling is the hardest sport. It is harder than baseball. It is harder than whatever Ethan said.
It's not hard.
It's not. Dude, I shouldn't have said that. Cut that
We'll
out.
cut that out.
This kid on our soccer team is like half my size and he wrestles. Wrestling is not hard. I will say though, I wrestled you at
Alex, I
High
beat you in wrestling.
I was about to
destroyed
get to
you.
that. You whooped me. You whooped me.
Like, it wasn't even close.
Well, I'm fat now, so I feel like I might have a chance. Okay,
No.
and also that brings me the counterpart to wrestling, in my opinion, is one of the hardest. Boxing is so difficult. Like I feel
No
like
I
the
didn't watch,
boys,
so I don't know.
the boys have boxed enough to know that boxing is kind of difficult and it hurts so bad.
You know,
Only
Alex
for
and I had
Dad.
a sparring session after throwing punches for a minute or two. Your arms started to get really tired. I'm like, how are my arms getting tired right now? But
Well, also the thing about boxing
fatigue
that's
settles
so
in
weird
very
is like
quickly.
you could feel like you're absolutely destroying the other person, and then they land one good hit on you, and all of a sudden you're losing.
I don't know enough about boxing to be honest.
Neither do I, so I'm not going to talk about it that much. I just want to put that out there.
Can we go back to baseball? Because
Yeah,
my previous point I made
yeah,
before
like
about
how you
not
can't
doing
like
a whole lot of things.
there's nothing to master. I
Yeah,
mean,
because
there's a lot of mentalness that goes into the game because mastering a swing is actually incredibly difficult. So I
yeah,
mean, there's no plays you have to master, but it's more like just knowing what's coming your way,
yeah,
because
but
being
my
able to like go on.
oh sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. My point was previously like and a counterpart to like basketball. There's like so many things you need to master. You get all your spots from the court. You work on that endlessly repetitions, and then you work on like moves and stuff. Like they call it in basketball your bag. Like what's your go to move when you get the ball to try and score or create an opportunity or something like that. And you don't see a whole lot of that in baseball, which is
Well, you do see it. It's just not for hitting. Pitchers have to master like because it's kind of like basketball where you have a bag. Like, what's your go-to pitch? Is it a curveball into the right corner where it goes outside and see if you can get people to swing on balls, or is it where you throw right down the middle super fast, like you throw down the middle and just hope that your batter has bad reaction time? I mean, there's a lot that goes into it in that way. Like, you could master a screwball and just completely like if you know the baseball players new to the sport, throwing changeups and curveballs will stump him. Curveballs were my biggest enemy for the longest time. Like I think until last year, every time when I had a 70% miss rate on like a strike, 70% strike rate on swinging on curveballs. Like I barely hit it. I
I thought
mean,
that 30% hitting was pretty good. I don't
well,
know baseball.
30% hitting one pitch, and for me, that's not very good. So, little gloat there.
Brr.
670 batting average. What? Um, but like my fastball hitting rate, I hit a fastball 80% of the time last year, which by the way is insanely difficult to do. Like Terrence hit a curveball 100. Terrence did not miss on a curveball the whole season, but Terrence is like a behemoth of a man, and he hit like 20 home runs. So that doesn't count. Do we need
Yeah,
to get
well,
him? I need to get him on here to just talk about baseball. I feel like
that
there's
would
so
be cool.
much. There's so much, and he could talk about basketball. He could talk about football. He could even talk about soccer.
Well, another reason why I don't take baseball very seriously is because you see on the TV there's a bunch of fatties that do it, and like, what could you walk us through like the athletic demand that baseball has?
None.
Hold on.
Because like,
It,
what like in football you do gassers, you do lots of push-ups, stuff like that. Basketball more the same. Like, what do you do in baseball?
I mean, if you gotta run polls to understand how annoying that is.
Why do
You
you
know
have to
how
run in baseball though? Like, why? Like, you run the
well
bases, I get it, but like, what else?
just to make well because once you it's a game of acceleration and quick reaction time. It's not as much of like baseball. It does not. If you put a baseball players on a football field, it would not go over well. Like if you put like, I mean, maybe offensive lineman wise, but like a lot of fatter people because it's more power hitting. Like there are power hitters that will hit the ball in a way that they don't really have to run a lot. But for me, I don't have a lot of power, so I'm fast. So when I hit the ball, I can get a double off of what would usually be a base hit for a fatty. Like I can, because everybody serves the arm rule like a bigger person can hit a ball, can hit more home runs than me. So it's different roles. It's kind of hard to explain how, because it's really not an athletic, like a super athletic demanding sport, which a lot of people see that as not being a real sport. But it's got like, if you take things from different sports and put it together, that's how you like can become a very good athlete. Because if you're playing football and you're super athletic but you have no reaction time, plays are going to get by you super easy. But let's say like you play baseball and you have great reaction time because of constantly swinging at like 90-mile-per-hour pitches, then you'll be able to react to plays faster. And let's say you play basketball, so you're used to running up and down the court, stop and go, not getting tired, and always being aware of what's going on around you. You'll be able to see more of a play in football. And then if you play football, you'll used to be getting tossed around, so you won't get hurt that easy. So you can use that in any sport. Like I think that's why like, see, for me that's the thing about soccer, because I feel like soccer doesn't really provide any skills that can be used in other sports.
I think soccer translates over to basketball very well, especially
Well, stop and go, I guess. But I mean that
not the stopping. I think being a defender, and I speak off of personal experience. Being a defender in soccer makes being a defender in basketball a lot easier as well because of the shuffling your feet like fast. But I couldn't really explain it very well, but I can tell you from personal experience it does translate over, and it creates like. It helps you be very quick as well in basketball, which you really need.
that is true. It actually helps your feet be pretty quick, so I guess that's true.
Because like when people are doing those through balls, like every soccer team I've ever played in my life absolutely loves running those offside traps with me and Aiden because we are fast. Not to flex or anything, but we're super fast, and they run the offside trap, so we're always like sprinting like badmen after those through balls and stuff, which helps us develop.
Yeah.
Develop.
Y'all were good defenders for the team. Another sport that I really can't say anything about that I know is super hard is hockey. Hockey is hockey is like football on ice.
Yeah, no comment. I don't know anything about hockey.
It's basically soccer, football, and ice skating all in one. Okay, can I talk about I low-key think lacrosse is like one of the wimpiest sports ever though. I don't know why, I just have no respect for it.
I used to
Well,
play
I'm
it.
from the north.
I don't respect it either.
I'm from the north, and there's no lacrosse up there. I'm pretty sure. Well, maybe there is, but not in my
I
area.
thought it was more in the north than the south.
I thought it was more in the south.
Nah.
I'm googling it right now.
Do you remember that our school tried to start a lacrosse team and nobody wanted to play?
I thought
I
all
would
the
have signed
young
up. I didn't even
bloods
get an
were.
email.
I swear lacrosse is more the south thing. Oh, it's from yeah, I think it is more of a northern thing. That's okay. That's strange because like I never even heard of lacrosse before I went to Georgia when I was in like 4th grade. So yeah, help me out here.
No, you got it.
All right, well I'm gonna transition over to badminton now because I'm getting no help. And I think badminton is one of the most fantastic sports to develop your quickness, reaction time, anything like that. And it's also just plain fun, dude. Like, badminton is, I can't really say much more about it, but it's a good sport. Play it if you haven't.
Alex was really good at it last week.
What?
I heard Alex is really good at it.
Shut up.
Yeah, Alex lost to a girl, so he is not very good at it, but he's getting better.
Hold on.
Keeping this
I was having a bad day. All right, usually I'd like.
Dude, I can beat a girl on a terrible day. Like, come on.
I'm cutting that out.
Played it before. I suck at badminton. I don't know why. I have good reaction time, and I just suck at it. Like, I have a hard time seeing the badminton. Like,
well, you talk about baseball translating to other sports, and I would think your hand-eye coordination would be pretty good for badminton.
Well, I mean, it's also my hand or eye coordination isn't that bad. But
it is
also,
bad because you miss a bunch
it's
of easy
well,
ones.
it's really funny. I have terrible hand-eye coordination, but for some reason I've made a career out of it in baseball. Well, I can't anymore because my baseball career is over. But then it's a whole separate matter.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I
Dogs,
was
Alex's
playing with my left hand, and I was better with my left hand than I was my right hand.
Brr. But yeah, badminton is like it's very easy to pick up. I've seen because like every time I play with somebody who's never played before, they always like pick it up in like about a day. Like Alex, you picked it up pretty quickly as well.
I mean, I'm not good at it, but I do stuff every game that's like actually kind of cool. Like I do it once a game where I do something that's actually cool.
Like you'll be shocked how good your reflexes are in some of the slams look so fast, but like you're like all over it, and it's just like second instinct for you if you get good at badminton.
What is going on with Ross's mic, bro? Ross, what are you doing?
That wasn't even me.
Oh,
Oh.
that was Ethan. Because
That was
Ethan doesn't have stinking AirPods in.
Yo, when we get to 100 subscribers, we're all getting new mics, definitely.
Yeah,
And, we reached our 20 subscriber milestone, so Alex.
20 subscriber was Alex number leak. So 100 subscribers is going to be Alex address leak.
No.
And then at 1,000 it's going to be SSN leak
Or credit card.
I'm leaking my school at 50 subscribers.
Come visit us.
My number will be in the comments. Don't text me, please. Just kidding. Text me. Please. I'm trying to think of another sport that I played. Tennis, I guess. Tennis is, dude. We played pickleball at one of like Ethan and Aiden's youth group events, and I hated it.
Pickleball is a fantastic sport. You're just a quitter. Can I like? I meant this as a minor Alex diss, but bro, you're a quitter sometimes. Respectfully,
dude, I get so angry. I just do not feel like playing anymore.
The score was 4-8. I was up by only 4 points, and Alex is like, "The game's over." And I'm like, "Dude, come on,
bro."
Y'all both quit the last Minecraft World. Y'all both quit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know Minecraft Worlds determined whether we were quitters or not. I quit because it was boring, not because I was like enraged.
Well, I was enraged and bored, bro. Pickleball is like super boring, and I don't like it. Because you can make a great defensive play and like get the other guy to miss, and then it's not a point for you. It's really annoying.
I think that's a good system. The reason why they have that, I'll tell you, is because they want you to like be convincingly better. Like, there's not a whole lot of luck points that come from pickleball. Like, they want you to score. You score again. Like, you got to earn that.
Also, like you can't use power at all. Like, you've got to be super light on the touch.
Yeah. If you get good at it, yes, you can. I can tell you. Like, I can tell if we worked on pickleball a little bit more. This was both of our first times playing, by the way. If you work on pickleball a bit more, you'll be shocked how good we'll probably get.
I don't know. It's just not a sport I feel like getting good at, though. I mean, I can't play baseball, so I might just pick up a bunch of random sports to be good at.
We can go to a badminton tournament and get absolutely destroyed.
Dude, I'm honestly thinking about running track for the school next year.
Track seems boring.
I'd run 1600 because my 1600's actually really good. And I feel like just being able, like, my hurdles probably suck. I couldn't do that, but.
Well, like, I think of a sport more like, I think the best type of sport, personally, is a team sport, and track isn't really a team. Of course, there's a track team, but, like, it's purely individual.
Well, I mean, not really, because everybody has to do their part to win.
Well, unless you're doing, like, a bat and run or something like that, but most of the events are, like, solo, I thought, like individual wins.
Well, no, but I'm pretty sure how it works is, like, you do it, like, everybody does their own segment, and whoever, like, if you all win yours, then you'll win the whole thing, but if you, like, somebody slacks off and doesn't do well, then you don't win.
I thought it was all individuals, like, when they were announcing track, they're like, oh, this person got 4th place. And
well, yeah, like, you'll see, like, 4th place in your event, but if everybody does bad in their events, then you won't win, but if everybody does well, you might win. I don't know.
I
I love running. So I mean,
Well, I think that a great way, the thing I love about basketball and soccer is it's possible to be so good that you make your teammates better, and that's what I think makes like a very successful athlete. You should not only just be good, but you should make others better with you. And
dude, that's like, I'll just say his
you can't do
name.
that for track.
We had a player on our soccer team. Bro, just drop. Don't put that in. Don't say his full name.
All right, cut this out.
We had a
His
kid
name
named
was
Jackson. We had a kid named Jackson on our soccer team who was like, he was the best player by a lot, I think, in my opinion. And he was super humble, and like, he made me so much better throughout the season.
Yeah, he was
The
a great
Jackson
leader on the team, and he was very humble as well, as you said, and like you need people who lead by example in team sports a lot, like because there's a lot of egos on like pretty much every sports team you'll play on, and individual players like him just make it so much more fun to play, and that's a big reason why I liked that soccer team so much was because
That was the bet. Like, I think the baseball team I played for this season that won the championship. Like, my coach was an incredible leader and a super humble guy who played in the MLB. He was a role model to me. Terrence, who I have a lot of amazing stories about him, but I can't tell like half of them.
you've talked about Terrence like 10 times this episode,
Dude, because he's like the best athlete I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, and he's the best athlete you'd ever meet if you met him.
besides myself. I'm just kidding.
No, he would absolutely any sport you've played, he'd beat you in it. Like, any single one.
He'd
Maybe
beat
not
me in
badminton.
soccer.
He'd beat you in soccer.
You'd be a better defender than me. I don't know. Maybe.
Dude, he's a brick wall. I mean, actually, no, he plays goalie, so I don't know about that. But dude, he's like, I saw him do PKs, and he did PKs, and he saved 4 out of the 5, and they won because their team couldn't make a shot, so he had to keep saving them. He's a pretty good goalkeeper. Austin's probably a better goalkeeper, but I think he's a better PK keeper.
Yeah.
No offense, Austin.
Yeah, guess the right way, pal. You got like 5% accuracy.
He doesn't even listen.
we had what was it, over 20 PKs, and he saved one. I felt that was rough. Man.
Is that literally 5% accuracy?
I think
Wow.
it's 5% accuracy. Love you.
The rest of the
Austin.
misses were people just missing the goal because they're bums. But
Dude, I remember we used to get so hyped when they just shot it over the goal because you're like, oh my
He
gosh,
stinks.
finally.
he sucks.
Dude, that was so funny when we played Kings, and they like, remember when they got that PK because of the handball at the end of the game, and then he just choked it, and we won in PKs.
Dude, when I saw the dude with his ridiculous girl hair, I knew he was gonna miss the penalty.
Bro, next year I want to be in the penalty rotation. That state championship, those penalties that we took were whack. Only good one was Jackson's.
He shanked it. No, his was.
Yeah, he went middle. That's where you're supposed to go against that kid because he was a stutter. And also, we lost to an 8th grade goalkeeper in the state championship. That was really fun.
Well,
Dude, that kid had this.
He couldn't score.
He was a redhead, and he had a. Yeah, I remember. Our defense was a brick wall the whole game. Nobody.
Dude, I think they had one shot on target the entire game. Unless, well, we don't count those shots like 40 yards out because we'll give them that any day. They ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, only a couple like excellent soccer players will make those, and we don't have any of those in our league. Like excellent soccer players.
Yeah.
But next year, I've been working on penalties for most of the summer, and my penalty has gotten pretty good. So
Yeah,
I can't dribble. I can't dribble. My passing sucks, but I can shoot the ball.
Yeah, well, we're getting a bit over time right now. I think we should wrap up the episode here.
Are there any like or subscribe goals we can try to hit or view count?
I think we should get 35
let's
subscribers
hit
by the time the next shorts drop and this podcast drops.
Something just fell in my room, by the way.
Give us ideas for shorts and videos, and we might do it and credit you.
Yeah, that
Oh,
would
yeah.
be cool. Get a shout out on our cool podcast.
Also,
Yep.
comment something weird if you actually got this far.
Yeah.
I almost think
Nobody's
you actually
getting this
watched it all
far.
the
And
way.
people clicked off 30 minutes ago. All right, we're done. Bye.
See ya.